The ocean is a vast, unexplored territory waiting to be explored. We may stumble upon old shipwrecks, treasures, or even learn something new about marine life. Some of the strangest discoveries in the ocean below make us feel like we're being transported to another world. In 1863, the submarine HL Hunley set sail in the midst of the American Civil War to begin its first underwater voyage. The crew of this Confederate Navy ship was tasked with ending the Union blockade of Charleston. However, the ship sank on its first attempt, and it would not be the last. 3 attempts were made to raise the HL Hunley from the seabed. The salvage team believes the ship sank the first time because it became entangled in ropes and was pulled under. After repairs were completed, the Hunley submarine set sail again, but one of the crew members failed to close a vital valve, causing the entire submarine to flood and sink a second time. The HL Hunley was raised again, repaired, and sent on another mission in 1874. But shortly after it sank the Union ship USS Oceanic, the Hunley suffered the same fate for unknown reasons. No one knows what led to the Hunley's third disappearance in 1874. It was not until 131 years later, in 1995, that the Hunley was found in the deep ocean, but what remained was rusted and broken. The salvage work encountered many difficulties, so it was not until 2000 that researchers successfully salvaged it and began to study it. But given the extent of the damage to the hull, experts fear some of the crew's belongings and equipment may still be on the ocean floor. They are carefully exploring the ship in the hope of finding some priceless artifacts inside. There are all sorts of interesting ocean creatures swimming at the bottom of the ocean, and this red creature is one of them. It is a sea toad and can be found at depths of approximately 2,463 meters at the bottom of the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans. Covered with small, sharp spines on the outside, sea toads have 2 interesting features that make them unique. Sea toads will wave their bioluminescent dorsal fins to lure other fish into their mouths. Their prey is so mesmerized by the light that they don't realize they're walking into death's door. Another feature is that they can rest one pectoral fin on a rock and the other on the sand, almost looking like they are standing. On August 10, 1628, the Swedish warship Vasa set sail. The 230-foot-long ship was armed with 64 heavy cannons, making it a formidable warship. But its maiden voyage was short-lived. The main reason was its sheer size. Less than 20 minutes after leaving port, a strong wind blew the Vasa over its side. Unfortunately, the ship's heavy guns, the sheer size of the ship, and the total weight of the 250 crew members on board caused the ship to sink to a depth of about 32 meters. Centuries later, archaeologists recovered parts of the ship's hull as well as 40,000 artifacts from the wreckage. Explorers spent 3 decades cataloging the various artifacts. In 1990, the Vasa Museum in Stockholm, Sweden, put the historic ship on display in all its glory. Despite the Vasa's short journey, Sweden still considers it a significant achievement. The basking shark is a plankton-eating shark with a conical nose and large gill slits. They are about 7 to 8 meters long, but can occasionally grow up to 11 meters, with males usually larger than females. They are considered the second largest shark species on the planet, but that's not the only reason divers want to avoid encountering them at all costs. The teeth of the basking shark are very small, only about 4 millimeters long, but they have a lot of teeth, 1,200 to be exact. However, what makes this creature even more terrifying is that they can jump out of the water and take a bite of their prey or drag them to the bottom of the ocean. Generally, these fish prefer to roam the ocean alone, but researchers have discovered that they can also swim with up to 100 of their own kind. The Mid-Atlantic Ridge, MAR, is a mid-oceanic mountain range that runs along the north-south axis of the Atlantic Ocean floor and is considered the longest mountain range on the planet. Researchers found that it was formed by divergent movements between the tectonic plates of North America, South America, Africa, and Eurasia since ancient times. The fire jellyfish is also known as the Portuguese man-o'-war. It is so named because it resembles an 18th century warship with full sail. This creature is commonly found in the Atlantic and Indian Oceans. The venom from this jellyfish causes excruciating pain. In Australia alone, around 10,000 cases of stinging jellyfish are reported each summer. Even when dead, fire jellyfish can still inflict pain on beachgoers who stumble upon their floating corpses. These unfortunate victims can suffer from swelling that lasts up to 3 days. Fortunately, this swelling is rarely fatal. Maris orthocana is a species of tube jellyfish commonly found in cold waters such as the North Atlantic, Northwest Pacific, and Arctic Ocean. Maris orthocana behave like bees, and they also work collectively for the benefit of a common territory. Their main purpose is to search for food to survive. Whenever they detect crustaceans such as mysid, shrimp, mollusks, etc., they will extend their tentacles and capture the prey. In 1900, Captain Dimitrios Kontos and a team of divers found the wreckage of an ancient ship off the Greek island of Antikythera. That same year, they helped the Royal Hellenic Navy recover artifacts from the shipwreck. Among the items recovered were coins, jewelry, glassware, ceramics, and bronze and marble statues. However, the most exciting discovery was the Antikythera mechanism. The Antikythera mechanism is believed to be the first analog computer ever invented and is a priceless artifact. In fact, historians believe the ship carrying the device crashed while traveling from the Greek island of Rhodes to Rome. Items recovered from the wreck are now kept at the National Archaeological Museum in Athens, Greece. In addition to being the first analog computer, the device was also an astronomical instrument used for calculations and could display data about astronomical phenomena. The hand-operated bronze and wood instrument allowed the ancient Greeks to predict eclipses, chart the various phases of the moon, and track the seasons. Unfortunately, the museum only has about a third of the pieces that made up the machine. Goblin sharks are known as living fossils because they date back 125 million years. Since they were first discovered in 1897, humans have only seen about 50 of them. The goblin shark's snout contains an electroreceptor sensory organ. This allows the shark to detect the electric field of its prey so it can quickly locate and pursue its meal, and it also helps it determine the size of its prey. This way, the shark knows in advance whether it needs to fight or just open its mouth and swallow its prey.